1.5.d is about calculating percent increase and decrease. Let's look at some of the questions. The first one here, Ron Woolley of Carmel Realty just listed a home for $155,999. This is 24% more than it was 8 years ago. What was the selling price 8 years ago? Part is base times rate. Base is what it was 10 years ago, or 8 years ago. That line happened because I was wiping my screen. So we would take, this is the part. The base is what we're looking for. So 155,999 is the base times 1.24, because it's 24% more than it was before. Divide both sides by 1.24. Um, 155,999 over 1.24 is $125,806. Next one. Price of gas increased 10%. What will be the new price if the old price was $337.9? Okay, so this is the part. Nope, this is the base. Old price is always the base. This is the part. So, no, that's not the part, that's the rate. The part is 3.379 times 1.10, because it increased 10%. So it's 110%. 100% more than what it was before, or 10% more than what it was before. 3.379 times 1.10 gives us 371.69, or 372, since we're supposed to be to the nearest dollar, or nearest cent, excuse me. Next one. In a local election, 710 people voted in this election. So this is the part. The part is always the new. The base is what we're looking for. 4710 is the base times 1.09, because it's an increase of 9%. Divide both sides by 1.09. 4710 divided by 1.09 is 4,321 people. Brendex copiers run 10% longer than its competitors. Brendex is the base. Let's see here. 10% longer than its competitor, brand Y. So I would say this would be the base. No, this would be the part. This would be the base, is what we're looking for. 196,000 is the base times 1.10, because it runs 10% longer than its competitor, so its competitor is what it's based on, not what we have. So divide by 1.10, and 196 over 1.10 is 178,000 copies, rounded to the nearest thousand. Next one. Same-store sales increase over last year. So this is the part. The new year is always the part. 103 is the base times 1.11, because it's 11% more. Divide both sides by 1.11. 103. Gotta get my calculator out here. 103 over 1.11, rounded to the nearest million. Oops. Rounded to the nearest million. Come on. Rounded to the nearest million is 93 million. Top 10 films had sales of 128 million over one holiday weekend. This was an 8% increase over sales of the same weekend last year. Okay, so this is the part. Last year is the base. So 128 is the base times 1.08. Divide both sides by 1.08. 128 over 1.08 gives us 118.5 or 119 million dollars if you round it. Next one, at the pawn shop, Julia Klaus sold some electronic equipment for $479.12, a loss of 30% from the price she paid for it. So this is the part. So 479.12 is the base times 0.70, because it's 100% minus 30%, which is 70%. Divide both sides by 0.70. And on our calculator, 479.12 over 0.70 gives us $684.46. Next one. Midtown Antiques found that sales have decreased 25% from last year. Sales this year were $234,980. How much were they last year? So this is the part. 234,980 is the base times 0.75, because it's a 25% decrease. So on our calculator, 234,980 over 0.75 is $313,306.67. Sandy Lindloff installed an electronic alarm and several simple auto theft devices in her car. As a result, her auto insurance premium was reduced by 15%. So this is the part. 308.93 is the base times 0.85, because it decreased that. So divide both sides by 0.85. 308.93 over 0.85 is 336.45. Next one. In a recent test of automobile anti-lock braking systems, ABS, the stopping distance without ABS, the stopping distance was 62 feet. This was 20% less than the distance without ABS. So this is the part. 62 is the base times 0.80 because it's 20% less. So this is divided by 0.80. 62 divided by 0.80 is 77.5, or rounded to 78. Next one. The average cost of a wedding today is $15,000, which is 15% more than it was 5 years ago. Find the average cost 5 years ago, round to the nearest $100. So we take, this is the part, 15,000 is the base times 1.15, divide both sides by 1.15. 13,000 over 1.15 is, this is 15% more than it was 5 years ago. Oh, it's 15,000. And to go up there to 15,000. I put in 13,000. 15,000 is $13,043.47, which rounded the nearest hundredth. The zeros are going, or the 43 is going to go away, so you're left with $13,000. If you have any questions, give me a call. This is 1.5 point D.